Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Excalibur Roundtable Tech Talk. I am Mike Fuson. We're going to continue our extended Tech Talk series with our friends at ConnectNow, and I'm joined by Ash Carr from ConnectNow. Ash, thank you for joining me again today.
Hi, Mike. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. And we're going to pick up actually right where our previous episode left off. We had kind of put in place the concept of resuming a chat. And I think Ash, our scenario was we had a user connect in, and we were in our last episode we were showing the ability to connect it to the IT service management system, but the technician had asked them to do something which would require a reboot of their machine. And because they were just about to run to a meeting, they didn't want to reboot at that time. They wanted to get back to us after they had an opportunity to effect a reboot. So that kind of sets the stage and really sets up this unique feature, which is resuming a chat kind of where we left off. So I'd love to turn it over to you to kind of set the stage for that. And let's talk a little bit about resuming a chat, because it really is as simple as it sounds.
Absolutely. Let's jump straight into the demonstration. So what we're looking at here is the customer screen for ConnectNow. And I'll scroll down a little bit and we can see the customer's previous interactions. So just as you've said, we're role-playing here and we're playing the role of a user who's coming back to say that their issue is resolved, which is amazing and doesn't usually happen. But of course, the power here is the ability to resume any ongoing chat. Why are we doing this? Because a lot of users get asked to go and perform an action and come back if it doesn't resolve the problem. And at least in my experience, they tend to come back quite a lot. And it's extremely useful to be able to just pick up from where you left off and maintain that sort of chain of events. Of course, it's great for the customer because they don't have to repeat themselves. And it's great for the admins as well and problem management, because we get a full chain of incidents through each sort of chat in that chain. So let's jump straight in then and mark this chat to be resumed. If I wanted to, I could add some extra information in this form, but I'm just going to go right ahead and resume. And if I jump over to an agent, the first thing that we notice is that there's something a bit different here, and we've got a blue ID indicator. This signifies that it's a resumed chat, and I can click that to launch the search panel that we've seen before and view that previous chat's history to prepare myself. But let's just answer this chat straight away. And I've got a bit of a message in my clipboard that we can send here just for demonstration purposes. So we can see that the user has confirmed that the issue is resolved. That's great. And there's two things we can demonstrate here. First is the ability to update an existing incident. So all we have to do this is to simply log the chat again to the same ITSM system. So we can see on the right-hand side, we've already got the ticket logged in ServiceNow, which is right. We remember last time we did log this incident. So ConnectNow has been smart enough to carry that incident through to this new chat. I'm going to click log to ServiceNow again. The agent doesn't have to do anything. What's just happened there is that the chat history has been sent over to the incident that was originally logged in the form of journal updates. So we can see everything that's happened since that last event. Let's now instead demonstrate closing that actual chat and therefore closing the associated ticket, because the user has come to say the issue is resolved. All you have to do is go to close the chat. And it's worth mentioning that the customer can do this as well if they want to, or the agent can. And when asked, mark the chat as closed, as resolved, sorry, and press confirm. And we'll see that all of the chat interactions have been closed. And if I now jump over to that customer incident, the customer screen, sorry, and rejoin ConnectNow, we will see that previous chat is now marked as resolved. And this corresponding incident is marked as closed, and I can no longer resume this ticket. It's worth mentioning there that for integrations and ITSM systems that do support reopening tickets, you can resume closed tickets, that's fine, but in the ServiceNow, you can't reopen an incident in this case. Let's just confirm that incident is indeed resolved within ServiceNow. ConnectNow says it is, but we need proof. And we can see here the incident has been closed. Now, for any custom workflows that you might have, we have clients with all sorts of complex ITSM setups, various mandatory fields. There's some Cherwell integrations that involve one steps, for example, when they close tickets. We can work with you. As we've said before many times, if it's got a REST API, we can talk to it. And ConnectNow is built to be as flexible as possible when it comes to integrating with these ITSM systems.
But as you just demonstrated, this gives us the ability for a technician to really operate their workflow from within ConnectNow, where it's completely appropriate. In most cases, a technician's going to have the IT service management system open. Just kind of the nature of what we do as technicians, but they don't have to flip-flop back and forth to update things. ConnectNow will push all of the necessary updates and to what you just demonstrated, resolve or close that particular incident. And it's going to follow a process. I think about a typical Cherwell customer will use what's called a resolve to close process, where it gets marked as resolved. The customer gets an email saying, hey, we've resolved your thing. If it's not resolved, let us know. Otherwise, we're going to close this in 3 days. That's kind of the default behavior out of the box. And ConnectNow is just going to mark it resolved because that's what we've told it to do. Set that in our settings. And the Cherwell system in that particular example is going to follow its workflow on its side. Now, to your point, if it allows a reopen during that period, we would have the ability to reopen it on the ConnectNow side, where they want to resume it and say, hey, I spoke too soon. The issues crop back up. And when you think about a user interaction, it's kind of interesting. They might be more apt because they know that they logged the chat and, hey, 2 hours later, here comes the error again, to just go right to the chat and say, hey, I'm going to resume this and pick up where they left off. As we've seen in previous episodes, the technician has access to the full workflow, the full history of the chat that's already happened, and they have the ability to look that up and review it if they're possibly new coming into it, and see what had been done before and go, okay, well, usually this fixes it. All right, what's our next step? What is the next things that we need to do? And they can take the actions that are necessary. So it's always kind of exciting to see how this the design of ConnectNow is really to work hand in glove in collaboration with the IT service management system and ensure that everything is being logged, because we're looking at the IT service management system being able to give us our reporting and our metrics and all the other things that we need to do on that side, meeting our SLAs and all of those good things. We're not looking to replace that. What we're looking to do is complement that and make it just that much easier for technicians to interact with the customers. It seems so simple. I always kind of joke, you look at this and it really is as simple as it sounds. They just had to click resume and say, hey, I'm ready to tell you what's happened next. The problem appears to be fixed, or I'm still getting the error. Okay, great. And then we can take our next steps from there. Ash, as always, it's a pleasure to be able to sit with you and dive into the features and functions of ConnectNow. I look forward to our next episode as we continue to explore the ConnectNow platform. Thanks for joining me today.
Cheers, Mike. Take care.
So everyone, join us again as we continue to dive into the features and functions of the ConnectNow platform.